women face a lot of challenges at all levels. But because we've always been conditioned to rely on male members of the family, I think it makes life a little more difficult. So I think gender bias is a huge thing that I have noticed, which makes life a bit difficult. And I think unless you give women opportunities for equal pay, for more training, more education, creating a safe work environment.
Yeah, more than anything else.
More than anything else. I think these things are really important to encourage women to work. And this can't be done without the men. So the men also have to pitch in and make it easier for the women to work.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Unbox with Tunvey, a show where we have conversations that inspire. Today I have with me the Chairperson at CII IWN Northern Region, Zia N Sawhney. Welcome to the show, Zia.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Thank you for having me here today.
It's been an absolute pleasure that you agreed to come and took some time out. I know there's a big conference coming up.
Yes.
So tell me, you grew up in Bombay.
Yes.
You did your schooling in your college there, and then you went to the UK to study, and then you got married and settled down in Delhi.
Yeah.
So you've traversed the globe. Was it easy culturally to adapt to each of these places?
So I think, I was very fortunate to grow up in Bombay because Bombay, as you know, is a melting pot of religion and culture. So I imbibed a lot growing up from different religions and different cultures. And also I traveled a lot with my parents and my family.
So you had a lot of
So I had a lot of exposure, and I think that helped me in good stead. And I also truly believe if you have a strong value system, it makes life so much easier.
No, I do agree, because if you know who you are, you don't feel the pressure to fit in. You find a tribe of people you connect with and gel
Absolutely.
with, and you don't have that pressure. And Delhi as a city can be stressful for some, but it's also a beautiful place and has lots of opportunities.
Yes.
But it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
So tell me, you've worked with the Philadelphia Museum of
Yes.
Art, you worked with Burberry, you worked with some of these big fashion brands. Was it easy to give all of that up and choose to at one point be at home and take care of family?
Yes, I think so, because I had always thought that when I would become a mother, I would only be a homemaker and look after my child. And now I have changed that a bit because he's 14 and he doesn't need me as much. And also, I think it's really important for women to actually do something for themselves. So, in however big or small a role, it's important to be engaged.
Yeah, I think everybody needs some purpose in life.
Yes.
And yes, family is one purpose, but maybe something just for yourself is also, it creates its own value.
Yes.
So how did you go from being a working professional to being a stay-at-home mom to then becoming the chairperson of
So
IWN?
I was involved with IWN Delhi, the Delhi chapter, for a couple of years. And during COVID, I became more involved. We have a social responsibility arm, and we have a group called Pins and Needles who we support. And it was a really terrible time, as you know. And we had all these women who had no jobs. So they were learning how to knit and sew and stitch. And they basically sustained their families during COVID. So what I used to do was I used to look for pictures and design elements to help them. And then the lady Simranji, who would coordinate with them, she started this organization. She would coordinate with them, and they would come up with the most beautiful products. And so we actually managed to give jobs to 60 women who I have never seen in my life, and they have never seen me. But through the power of technology, actually, I used to WhatsApp her the pictures and she would teach them. And I think it was really fantastic the way we managed to get 60 of them work. And no handouts, no money, but just employment. And today, some of them are working in boutiques, some of them have got jobs. And that's what I'm actually truly proud of.
That's an amazing story. I think the pandemic also, brought so many beautiful stories to the fore. Yes, there are the stories of pain, and
Yes.
some of that pain can never be taken away. But I think there are also stories of human triumph and people helping each other. And I think it's worth looking at those and remembering those as well. So,
Absolutely, yes. And we also had started a help group, and we were basically just helping each other. We would get messages 24 hours a day, and every message was looked into. So I think that gave us a huge sense of purpose during the pandemic, and we managed to help a lot of people. So I think that was really wonderful.
so when you decided to start working, and um, was it difficult because IWN essentially started off as an organization for working women?
Yes.
And so when you got involved, were there moments when you felt insecure, or were you surrounded
You
by
know,
a bunch
I
of
was
people who helped?
actually really lucky. I never felt insecure even once while I was working because I have a really strong group of supportive women. And I think that was just amazing. And I was also supported a lot by my husband and my family. So I think that also played a great role, gave me a big boost.
Hmm.
And I've actually been very blessed. I've enjoyed working all through last year and I'm enjoying this year as well. So I think it's been great.
So tell me, in all of your years of working with women, what are some of the challenges you feel women face maybe more than men?
So I think women face a lot of challenges at all levels. But because we've always been conditioned to rely on male members of the family, I think it makes life a little more difficult. So I think gender bias is a huge thing that I have noticed, which makes life a bit difficult. And I think unless you give women opportunities for equal pay, for more training, more education, creating a safe work environment
Yeah, more than anything
more
else.
than anything else, I think these things are really important to encourage women to work. And this can't be done without the men. So the men also have to pitch in and make it easier for the women to work.
No, I do agree with what you're saying that there is so much of conditioning that we're constantly looking for validation, and it doesn't matter at what level of education you are or what socio-economic background you come from. Our conditioning and our cultural milieu or setup is such that we end up seeking validation from the outside. Okay, you're on the right track. Yeah, go ahead, do this. No, no, you're doing a good job. And sometimes when the voices around us are not in agreement, it becomes very hard um, to put your foot down and say, or to have that belief and say, I'm going to do it even though I don't have the support. And there are women who've done that.
Yes,
Across the
absolutely.
world there are women
But
who've
I
done
do
that, but
find
that's not
that,
too many women.
yeah, I find that confidence is also a huge issue. Women, like you said, they might be highly educated, they may be super skilled, they may even be better than the next man. But I just feel that the confidence levels are not where they should be. And I think we really need to support each other and help each other with to make the confidence level soar. Because I find within our women's group, uh, I feel it has given me a lot of confidence as well. So, work wise, I think we are a very strong group, and I would like to say that we're a good example to follow because we have actually made each other more confident.
No, I think women supporting women can be so powerful and so impactful. And there are stories that are increasing and growing. But like I said, there's just a cultural setup, and there is so much of insecurity that there are times when you hesitate to support another woman because you feel she's working in a space similar to mine. Is it competition? Do you see that as well?
No, luckily we haven't really seen that much of competition. Maybe the odd person here and there, but I think we all have our own roles, and we all play the roles very beautifully. So I haven't really. Luckily, I mean, somebody once said to me, "How do you deal with 200 women on a daily basis? Isn't there conflict?" And I said, "No, actually, there's no conflict." And she wouldn't believe me, but it's true. We actually work very well together.
So obviously the organization's got a great energy, and there's a sense of alignment and clarity, so things are good. But in your experience of just having interacted with people around the world, is this something that you find that IWN has created an anomaly of sorts, or you think this is happening all around?
Well, it must be happening all around, but I think IWN, the Delhi chapter specifically, has created a very good structure. So we all work within the structure, and I think it's very important to have that kind of format or structure within which you work. So once you know your role, I think it just makes it much easier.
I
Yeah.
think that's true of any structure. It could be a family, it could be an organization, it could be even a friends group.
Absolutely. And also, I think we really do encourage our women to reach out to each other for help. And that's also something like I feel like a lot of women don't want to ask for help, or they get embarrassed, or they think they're making a fool of themselves. But actually, I find if you do reach out for help, you get it in all kinds of ways. And I think that also just makes the journey easier.
I think asking for help is such a courageous thing to do. Um, if you don't ask, the answer is no. But if you ask,
Exactly.
you're likely to
Yeah,
get some
some
support.
support. Yeah.
But yeah, I think asking for help because of, like I said, I think our upbringing or the way we
Yeah.
are mostly all of us are brought up, asking for help by default means you don't know,
Yes.
hence you're not good enough. So a lot of people hesitate to reach out because they feel it's a reflection of their weaknesses. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I've come to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely believe that asking for help is such a huge sign of strength because it means that you want to change, you want to grow, and you realize and you accept I don't know enough, but I want to get somewhere and I'm willing to, reach out and seek help. So I think it's a huge sign of strength.
Absolutely.
What are some of the challenges you've faced over the years? Things like lessons maybe you've learned on your journey.
So I've obviously learned a lot in my life, but I've learned actually to be resilient, to see people for who they truly are.
Acceptance.
Yeah. And also, I think, like, once again, I've learned to stand my ground, never letting sight of my values, which is something that's really important to me.
So, what really taught you? How did you figure out that you're resilient?
Well, I think everyone goes through tough times,
Yeah.
and in my lowest moment, I realized that one has to just carry on. So you take baby steps,
Yeah,
and you get there.
one step, one step. Yeah, I think even when I've gone through tough
Mm,
times, the only thing you have is a sense of surrender, and prayer helps.
yes,
And you just wake up, brush your teeth, have a cup of tea,
and move on. Yeah,
move on, and
yes.
you realize that time does heal a little bit.
Hmm.
It helps. What about some of the lessons you've learned working with women in the last couple of years? What are the things that these women have taught you?
Oh, I'll have to think about that one. Well, I think that society has changed a lot.
Mm,
I think Indian women are really taking work seriously,
mm.
and they want to be independent. They are grabbing opportunities wherever they can, and I think they are also making a huge effort towards getting into the workforce. And I think, with technology, it makes life so much easier. If you can work from home,
Yeah,
you can do so much more.
I know.
I mean, I know it doesn't work for everyone, but I think for most people, especially if they have little children, just that sense of being at home or sense of being around gives them a little bit of confidence to work. I mean, I think it worked for me because I always like being around my son.
Mm.
And just the fact that I do work from home, and I know that he's around, and if he needs me, I'm right there. So I don't have that conflict of or that mom guilt of, oh my God, I'm somewhere else and my son is alone, and all that kind of stuff.
No, I do. I do agree that I've been on both sides. I've had opportunities where I had flexibility in my work, and I had opportunities where I had no flexibility in my work, and I've been through both sides. And um, sometimes we're lucky enough to get opportunities where you have the ability to pick and choose. And I know for a lot of women that's not even an option.
True.
But especially women who are sort of in sectors where they genuinely could do with a leg up, and
Yes.
we can give them an opportunity within the comfort of their home. They don't have to get into arguments, and it's easier for them to start their journey into
Absolutely. I think
becoming independent,
that's,
or creating a source of income.
yes. So I think that's exactly what we did at Pins and Needles.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to leave their home. All the materials get sent to them, and they are around for their family when their family needs them.
In fact, I'd interviewed Mira Ali recently,
Yes.
and she shared that the whole Kotwara project started off with the idea of Dwar Pe Rozi, a respectable way to help women create a source of income, and create an earning potential for them from their homes. So yeah, it's a similar philosophy or a
Yes.
similar thought process that you have. Have you stepped out of your comfort zone? Since we are unboxing, I
I
want to know, have you unboxed ever?
well, today I'm actually stepping out of my comfort zone because public speaking is a nightmare for me. And when I became the chairperson of IWN, the first thing that entered my mind was like, oh my God, I have to make so many speeches. And my little son helped me through all that. He used to make me practice in front of him. And he's a great public speaker, actually. So he taught me how to overcome that. So I don't know if I'm there, but I'm getting there.
You're very much there. We've had a great conversation, and I do feel when we step out of our comfort zones, we grow and
Yes,
we learn. So because after this, we've not stopped. We've gone with the flow.
right.
And you were so scared that, I'm not good at this, but you're fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
I think
Tanvi.
the whole experience of even working as the chairperson, where you're on stage talking to women, and now 3 cameras.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Zia. It's been an amazing, amazing chat.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Tanvi.
much
Thank
for
you for
being with
having
us.
me over.
That's it on this episode of Unbox with Tanvi. We'll catch you again on another episode soon.